everyone. Welcome to another episode of the weekly download. What's going on? I hope you're doing okay and you're having a great day. Again, this is the weekly download, and my name is Mitchell Dumlao, and this is Video Content School. And today, we're going to be talking about how to take notes on a creative project. And the reason why I'm talking about this today is that for years, I've, of course, been sending videos out to clients and creative partners, and I've been getting notes back. And the whole idea of getting notes and the notes process can be hurtful to some creatives. Look, I know because I sometimes get hurt or even upset over some notes that are negative in my mind or negative feedback whenever someone is talking about my work. And this applies to clients as well as creative partners. It doesn't have to be someone who's paying for a video. It can also be a creative partner that is actually helping you, or you're both going in on a project. It can be a producer, it can be a writing partner, it can be a directing partner. Whatever it is, taking notes can be a very difficult process for a lot of folks out there who put a lot of energy and identity and just their whole being behind a piece of work. Because being a creative and putting work out there and art out there, you feel very vulnerable because it's you expressing yourself onto a medium, whether it's video, a canvas for art, or music. And when you hear people comment or say negative feedback on your work, it feels like it's an insult towards you and your worth. But again, there's a lot of people out there who can take notes differently. Today, I'm going to really speak to folks out there who have a hard time taking notes without going back to the client or the creative partner with a very aggressive reaction that is very defensive. You don't want to seem defensive because honestly, if it is a collaboration, you want to come in as a collaborator, someone who actually wants to work towards the greater goal. What was the goal in the first place? And that's really how you want to approach a lot of creative projects, is that if you are working with a client, you are getting paid by the client and they are actually footing the bill. Therefore, whatever they say has to go because they are ultimately the ones who need to be satisfied for them to write the check. Now, they did hire you for your creative prowess and for your talent. That's very true. At the same time, they need some sort of result because they hired you for that result, whether it's promoting a product to your audience or creating a video for their product that they can put online or in a broadcast commercial, or they're just paying you so you can talk about their product on a TikTok or Instagram post. Whatever it is, remember that they are paying you and that you have some sort of responsibility to satisfy them so they can give you that money or want to work with you again. Now, when it comes to notes and taking notes, I, as a videographer, video creator, executive producer, someone who creates videos for clients, I have a platform that I use for notes, and that is frame.io. And frame.io is a platform where you upload your videos and then you can have your client leave notes at specific timestamps so that it leaves no confusion. They can also mark up the frame. They can press pause, press a button, they can add a circle, arrows, they can even draw freehand in areas of the frame and in the video that they want to change. This makes things very, very easy and also very specific. What you don't want are notes that are very vague. And this goes out to the people out there who have businesses and also creative partners who are giving notes. Don't be vague with your notes. Be very direct and give a very understandable and specific action. Now, don't just say make this more funny. Say let's take out this shot and add another take from this actor. Okay, it's let's go back to that, to from the other side as a creator. When someone gives you a vague note, this is when you ask questions, because a vague note like let's make this funny, let's make this funnier, let's make this better, or I want this to be this move faster, or let's have a much more upbeat song. You want to provide solutions or options to the client or the person who's giving notes so that they can have an option so that you're not trying to guess. Okay, if it's, hey, can you make this more funny? Then it's giving them an options like, one option is that I can use this person's takes more often. Another option is that we could cut down the whole video so it punches better, or the flow is better, or it can use a new music track, right? And so instead of just saying, no, that's a stupid note, come back with options, and then let's find a very direct and specific way to get to a result. All right. And whenever someone is giving notes, especially on frame.io or on platforms, they leave it at certain timestamps. You want to make sure that you keep a list of these notes so that you know what you need to get done for the next step. And this also goes for any email notes or anyone who uses an Excel sheet or a Google Doc, whatever it is. Always make sure that you address every single note, okay? Some creatives are just, they look at a note or they look at a frame.io link or an email with notes and say, yeah, I'll get all the notes done for sure. And never go back and have a checklist. And I've dealt with this because I'm dealing with, broadcast commercial production right now, okay? And you'd think by that time, by getting to that level, people will get their shit together. But sometimes some vendors, they miss things, all right? We're not perfect. I miss things as well. So keep a checklist of all the notes, all right? So you got all the notes back, and then you see them, make a checklist, or just, create a Google Doc or an Excel sheet and throw the notes up in there however you want and keep a track of the notes, all right? Then there's responding and acknowledging the note. So what I've learned over the past couple months is the idea of acknowledging that you took the notes. Rather than just leaving a frame.io empty with no comments or replies, or not responding to an email when someone gives a note, you should respond. It could be, got it, we're on it, or it could just be going through each one of the notes on frame.io and saying, yes, we're on it. Yes, I understand. Okay, I got it. Here's a solution. Hey, what do you think about this? The reason why is that you want the other person to feel like they're being appreciated, if not acknowledged, and also heard when they're giving the notes, okay? Because sometimes when you're giving notes and people don't respond, it sometimes feels like they don't want to talk to you, or your note is dumb, or they feel like it's irrelevant and they're just going to move forward without your notes anyway, okay? So acknowledge the notes. And if it's an email, go through each one of their notes or bullet points, acknowledge each one and say your solution again, or pose a question. That's the next point, actually. So when you are replying, you have different types of replies. You can, if it's a note that you agree with, or it's a note that you see that it can be done quickly, say, I got it, I'm going to handle this. Or, got it, I will do the note that they say. Now, if it's vague, then you would pose those questions, or even ask a question about how to be more specific, or pose options so that we can go towards a more specific solution. And then there's like the notes you don't agree with. Now, the notes that you don't agree with, still acknowledge that you got the note, and then pose a solution and your reason behind your solution, or the reason why you chose that shot, and why you feel like you should still keep that shot. Although you will apply the note in the next draft so they can see. Now, there's different ways you can approach this. You can do the client's always right. Let's move forward and just forget about your creative vision. And the other way is just to say, fuck you to the client, and just, do whatever you want to do. The way to meet it in the middle is, there's several ways, and I've learned this over the years. You can create the director's cut, right? You can create your version of the video and then their version of the video and say, hey, here's your version that you look for. By the way, I took the liberty of doing my version so you can see what I was talking about and why I feel it's better if we didn't do this one note you're talking about. And you can show them and they can choose. At the same time, you can even see. You can see from their edit and your edit, put it together and realize, oh, maybe their note is better, right? At least you can have some sort of peace of mind knowing that you went for your vision, and also you helped your client out and you were able to satisfy their notes, right? And another way too is that, you also want to be able to tell them, look, this is my expertise. You're hiring me for a reason. Here is the reason why I kept it in. Here's also the reason why I chose not to go with your note, but here's the video with your note applied. I really do feel that there is a point where you have to realize that whoever's paying you for the video, whoever's paying for the video, they have the final say. Although, show them the other option. Here's a director's cut. Just want to let you know this is how it looks. All right. Look, in even the biggest levels out there. Look, there's Justice League. Zack Snyder had to create his own director's cut. Okay, because the studio, DC Studios, Warner Brothers, decided to take his cut, give him a bunch of notes he didn't agree with. He gave him that cut, all right, put it in theaters, got terrible reviews, didn't do well, puts out the HBO cut, which is 3 hours long, the Zack Snyder cut, and I personally think it's a great superhero movie. All right. So, anyways, it happens on all levels. Now, one big thing out of all of this is to not take things personally. Now, it's easier said than done. Again, we're creatives. I'm an artist, and we're human beings. When we take anything as an insult, as tribal creatures, we feel that we're no longer part of the tribe, so we get defensive, or we get upset, or we get angry. Okay? So, during the point when you are in the moment though you have to react, let's say it's over a phone call or an in-person meeting or even a Zoom meeting, and you have to react to the note, try your best to keep a very stoic attitude and just take it and leave it there. Nod, say, yes, I understand, let me think about it. If you are seething inside and you just want to punch the person in the face because their note is so dumb, keeping it to yourself and make sure that you can show that on your face and say that you'll think about it. And yes, acknowledge their note. If you don't agree with it, don't say you agree with it. Just say, you know what? I understand your note. Let me think about it. I'm going to apply it, and I will see how it will look in the next cut. And from that point, if you really do want to argue with your note, go ahead. But don't take things personally. Don't come off as they're insulting you and your intelligence and your talent, and you are someone that needs to be heard, and you are the diva that everyone needs to listen to. You have to be a collaborator, all right? The video production process is a collaborative process. It's a team effort, so be a team player, all right? So when you get a note and you feel like it's a very personal attack, just breathe, all right? Take a nice deep breath, acknowledge the note, say that you'll think about it, and that you would apply it in the next cut. If not, give your reason why you don't think so, but you will apply it anyway, or give them the options, different options of how you would see it differently. And if they still want their note, either move forward and again, do two options, your cut and their cut, okay? And at the end of the day, when it comes down to notes that you don't understand, ask questions, okay? And this is where you can come back and have more power in the conversation as a creative, right? Now I'm gonna put the power back on you. Look at the creative brief or the script and go back to your initial meeting of what you discussed with the client. And if you know that the results that they want is to have more awareness and to be different and to be innovative, and what they're asking for you in a cut is basic and done before, you have to say that as a way of showing them that what you are doing is exactly what they hired you to do. All right, you got to do this in a very professional way. Now, this is taking me years, and it still takes me a lot of times to word this correctly. This is people skills, this is soft skills, okay? Where you have to really talk to people and ask them, is this something that is going to actually result in what we agreed upon when we first started this project, or do we feel that we're straying away from the original goal? Again, if they want something innovative, they're going basic or vice versa, or they want to target an audience and what they're trying to do is not targeting that audience, right? You have to come back as a professional and tell them, I've done the research. This is my expertise. Our team has come together to let you know that this cut is doing exactly what you're asked for when we started this project, right? So that's something that you always have to be mindful of, is your initial meeting with a client is being able to create a contract or creative brief where you both agree on the creative vision and the KPIs and the tangible results or the vanity metrics, more views, more sales, more email signups, whatever it is, right? You have your creative and you have the results, like the tangible results. And usually a business wants the tangible results, and usually the creative wants the creative results. I like to marry those both, okay? Because you want both parties to be happy. So knowing that, before you get into a project, try to agree upon that beforehand. And then when you get into a project, I always tell people, handle the very basic requirements of the video. Shoot the logo, have a engaging 5 seconds. Make sure they mention what the features and benefits, whatever it is. Shoot the basic shots, coverage, wide, mediums, and close-ups, and then you can add your creative vision on top when you have time, so that If you need to edit it down to a basic cut, at least you still have your creative shots you can add on top to add your voice if need be, right? If you want to create that director's cut. So that's how I feel like you can really approach notes, is that it can come from a collaborative process that starts from the beginning. And as a creator, you can basically steer the ship and say, hey, look, this is what we talked about in the beginning. Here's a creative brief. Now, at the very end of the day, if they're footing the bill and they say, hey, I don't care about the creative brief, let's just move forward with this note that I'm very, very adamant about, go ahead, smile, nod, do the note, collect the paycheck, add it to, give it to them. You don't have to add it to your portfolio. All right. And that's how, the transaction works in video production. So hopefully that was helpful when it comes to taking notes, receiving them, reacting to them, and then responding. And it's a lot of social skills and at the same time soft skills that you can learn from just being in front of people and conversing with people and arguing with people and just having day-to-day conversations with people you don't agree with sometimes. It really just takes a lot of experience. So it's okay if you've had those experiences where you actually have blown up at a client for a really bad note and you decided to go with your own draft. They haven't paid you and you're stuck in limbo. Yeah, it happens. So at the end of the day, it takes a long time to really, work up to this point where you can talk to clients in a professional way and provide a very beautiful, amazing product that you're proud of and they're proud of, and you're both willing to share. All right, so hopefully this was helpful and you enjoyed today's weekly download. Again, my name is Mitchel Dumlao, and remember that I post every single week. And if you like this video, please like, comment, and share this with anyone you think would find this helpful. And if you're on YouTube, please subscribe. You're on Facebook, like. And again, if you have any questions, please leave a comment below or email me at mitchell@videocontentschool. If you want me to talk about anything else, let me know. I'm here to help. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.